Folks, President Trump is absolutely ripping Vladimir Zelensky on Truth Social right now, absolutely eviscerating him, and really for the horrible job that he's done in Ukraine, and really, I would go as far as to say not being grateful for the hundreds of billions of dollars that the United States has sent to Ukraine. But before we get into this, drop down below, hit that subscribe button, make sure you never miss another video from us again in the future. So Trump put out this truth this morning, about an hour ago. Let's just get into it. Think of it. A mostly successful comedian, Vladimir Zelensky, talked to the United States of America into spending $350 billion to go into war that couldn't be won, that never had to start, but a war that he, without the U.S. and Trump, will never be able to settle. 100% true. No chance that this war gets settled without the United States, number one, and really without Trump. Biden's had 3 years, 4 years, 4 years, 3 years, 2 or 3 years. 2 or 3 years he had to finish this war. And now Ukraine, they're mad that United States is dealing directly with Russia. They're mad that the United States wants to get, they want to have 50% of all of the rare earth minerals that are in Ukraine. We want some guarantees for the money we spent. Hell yeah, are you kidding me? We just gave you $350 billion. Give me a freaking break. Like, honest to God. Like, we gave you 6% of our yearly entire budget of the federal government? We gave it to you. And you don't want to have it backed up by anything. I think it's really disgraceful. I think it's a joke. I think the fact that we've defended Ukraine as far as we did, which I think is a good thing. But ultimately, if they don't want to play, if they don't want to play ball, why should we? Why should we? Let's keep going. The United States has spent $200 billion more than Europe. And Europe's money is guaranteed, while the United States will get nothing back. Absolutely true. We don't have any guarantee right now that we're going to get this money back. Why did Sleepy Joe Biden demand equalization in that this war is far more important to Europe than it is to us? We have a big, beautiful ocean as separation. On top of this, Zelensky admits that half of the money we sent him is missing. He refuses to have election, is very low in Ukrainian polls, which is true. After they declared martial law, and I believe they just extended it for the 14th time, when there's martial law declared in Ukraine, they cannot have presidential elections, which Zelensky would most likely get blown out of the water. There have been some polls that he is 40, 50, 60 points underwater right now in his polling in Ukraine. He refuses to have elections and is very low in Ukrainian polls. And the only thing he was good at was playing Biden like a fiddle. A dictator without elections, Zelensky better move fast or he's not going to have a country left. In the meantime, we are successfully negotiating an end to the war with Russia, something all admit only Trump and the only Trump administration can do. Biden never tried. Europe has failed to bring peace, and Zelensky probably wants to keep the gravy train going. I love Ukraine, but Zelensky has done a terrible job. His country is shattered, and millions have unnecessarily died, and so it continues. Absolutely true. Let's go back. Let's start back up here. The United States has spent $200 billion more than Europe. Absolutely. Why are we spending more money than Europe is to defend that continent? Obviously, I think that we should be helping defend Ukraine from Russia. Russia is led by an evil dictator, Vladimir Putin, who will kill the opposition, kill reporters. They don't have free speech there. He's a sick individual, Vladimir Putin. But ultimately, what do they say? You keep your enemies closer. You keep your friends close and you keep your enemies closer. And that's what Trump's doing. He's keeping them close right now because we need a freaking end to this war. Because ultimately, we're not going to convince Vladimir Putin to stop being an evil dictator. He's going to be an evil dictator and an authoritarian as long as he's alive and controlling Russia. That's just the reality of the situation. But can we negotiate with him to get an end to the war? Can we open up diplomatic relations with him to get an end to this war, to have it so people stop dying? And we spend all of this money more than Europe, and Europe's the one who's really at risk. Russia wants to take over probably all of Europe. Why are they not spending more money to defend Ukraine and defend their own interests there? And why are they getting guarantees that they're going to get this money back when the United States can't get a guarantee that they're going to get anything back? And I 100% agree. We should get 50% of the rare earth minerals, the oil in the ground, everything in the ground. We deserve it. Absolutely. We have put out close to $400 billion for this war. $400 billion. And it is far more important, like Trump says, to Europe than it is to us. We have an ocean that separates us too. It should still be important to us, but it is far more important to Europe than it is to us. And Zelensky admits that half the money is missing that we sent him. Where the hell has all this money gone? That's kind of on Zelensky and the Biden administration. Where is this money gone? And he refuses to have elections. He stayed in power when he probably wouldn't stay in power. And I can understand the concept behind you don't have elections, but ultimately at this point, they need to have elections in Ukraine. Something needs to change because he is refusing to have these elections. He's very low in the polls. Trump's even calling him a dictator. A dictator without elections, which, to be honest, so is Putin. Putin's a dictator without elections, but at least Putin's willing to negotiate an end to this war right now. Ukraine, Trump's going to basically have to force this down on Ukraine, whatever deal they come up with. And at this point, they're negotiating directly with Russia. Ukraine, if you wanted to end the war, why haven't you? Why haven't you negotiated with Russia? Oh, because that's right. You are a small country that has no power to negotiate with Russia. And Europe has totally failed to bring it. Why does it take a New York City businessman who's 78 years old to come in and put an end to this? But you're probably right. Does Ukraine want the gravy train to continue on? Do they want to just keep getting money from the United States without an end to the war? It would be sick if that's what they wanted. But it's absolutely, it's just, this is how we should have been dealing, like this guy says. This is how we should have been dealing with Zelensky the entire time. He is not Ukraine. And also, let's just take a step back. Ukraine isn't this great country that this shining light on the top of the hill. They're a corrupt as hell country. It is not somehow this great country. They promote freedom of speech and the Second Amendment. It's like they don't have people don't have all these rights that they have in the United States. So let's not sit here and pretend like this is a piece of American land that we're trying to defend here and American values. Are you kidding me? Ukraine and the Ukrainian government is corrupt as hell. And Zelensky probably, who knows? There's a chance. I'm not going to say yes or no, but there's a chance Zelensky could have been part of a CIA operation to overthrow the Ukrainian government and instill Vladimir Zelensky. I'm just saying. Just putting this out there. And we should really, Musk, he's going to be auditing all these funds that are going to Doge. But this is breaking news right now. We're going to have a lot more that's going to develop over time. Let me know, what are your thoughts on Trump calling Zelensky a dictator? As always, like, share, subscribe for more. Make sure you never miss another video from us in the future. And as always, until next time.